Hey everyone, this is Adrian. Welcome to another release. Today we're going to release Avo 2.20. So let's get into it. So first of all, I want to thank our contributors. So Pavel, Desmond, Nathan, and Ali. And last but not least, Paul. Thank you so much, everybody, for all your contributions to this release. Again, I see a lot of community contributions, and this means the world to me. It just means that you love the product and you like to see it thrive. So thank you so much. I appreciate the help. Cool. So again, we're going to take it bottom up. So on the refactor side, Pavel contributed with a PR where they extracted the breadcrumb on Rails gem, and they basically extracted the functionality from that gem and added it natively to Avo. So now Avo requires one gem less in the gem file. Next, Paul did an amazing work of refactoring the select field, and in this process, he also fixed a few bugs. So believe it or not, this field has a lot of branches. So it can take an option. It can take options as an array or a hash. It could take an enum, which could be an array or a hash, and Rails treats them differently. Or you can display a value, and that changes everything from the select field and the show field and so on. So there are just a lot of branches, and Paul did an amazing job to deep dive inside this PR and fix it and refactor it properly. So thank you so much, Paul, for that. We just updated some dependencies here. Next up, bug fixes. Display modal errors on destroy. So we had this issue coming in from Mohammed. Thank you so much for that. So when a record is destroyed, the error message error is generic. So what we're doing now is going in and getting the errors from the model as well. So whatever error your model has thrown on destroy will display those as well. So that's a better experience all around. Enter should submit rather than canceling an action. Thank you so much, Nathan. So basically on an action, if you were to hit enter on one of those fields, instead of submitting, it would just close the action. So now it will submit as usual. Fix problem hasHTML. Okay, so this was a bug. Again, Nathan, thank you for diving in. So what was happening was that on index we were memoizing the value of whatever HTML property you would put in. So what I'm talking about is, let me just, okay, and HTML attributes. Yeah. So whatever you were using here, like for the index, for style and classes, these would only be evaluated for the first entry of a table. So just for the first one, it would be like memoized for the rest of them. So now this is fixed, and thank you so much, Nathan, for diving in. Ali, this is your first contribution to Avo, so thank you. So sidebar group and heading are clickable and collapsible. So it's about this. You can now click and collapse these instead of just going to this arrow right here. So you can just click on the heading or the group label. Thank you so much for that, Ali. Only attempt to eager load directories that exist. So thank you, Desmond. So again, this falls into the eager loading saga that we encounter like on every like 2 or 3 releases. So what happens is whenever you install Avo, you'll get this directory and maybe a resources directory, but you don't get the dashboards directory. And the way that Zeitwerk works is we were trying to eager load the everything under dashboards, but because it wasn't there, Zeitwerk wouldn't register that autoloader. And whenever you generate your first dashboard, Zeitwerk would throw an error because it's expecting like a different naming scheme. So what Desmond did in this PR is we're just not going to load this directory, eager load this directory, and whenever you create the dashboard, you have to restart the app, and Zeitwerk will just see the files again. So it's a very good addition experience-wise. Again, select field, we talked about this. Next to the features, add dashboard name to the page. Thank you so much for this. Oh, sorry. Thank you so much. So basically that's the dashboard name to the page title. Fail action and keep modal open. Yep, so this was open. This is an issue open for a while now. So what was happening was whenever you have like an action with some fields filled in, if you click save or run the action and the action fails, it will not stay open and you have to open the action again and fill in the field. So this is not the best experience. So what we did was whenever, let me see where I can do this. So maybe on the dummy app, dummy action, keep modal open. So whatever I do right here, when I run it, it will throw an error. I can respond with whichever message I want, but the modal will stay open. And not only it will stay open, but it will keep my state. So basically I can fix my validation errors. Maybe if you have like you're trying to create a model or create an association or something inside an action, you'll still want to have that data populated in the field. So this is a very nice improvement, very nice addition. Thank you so much for raising this, Tiffany, and thank you, Paul, for fixing it. Last but not least, again, arguments on filters and actions. Yep. So this was an issue from Alan, I think. Let me see. Yep, Alan. So what he was saying, like whenever you declare an action or a filter, you can pass some things to that action or filter. So basically, let me see where I have this. Maybe the dummy action. Okay, yep. And then let's see arguments. Where are they? Dashy, base filter, fish resource. Okay, so you can use like the dummy action, like just declare it like this and it will just work. But maybe you want to use this action on more resources and you'd like to use it but a little bit differently. You want to like maybe on fish you want to give it some arguments like a special message, and on the user resource you don't want to do that. So you just want to like, what is it? Just want to declare it like so. So you can now specify like arguments and then give it something. It can be like a simple hash, or it can be like an open struct if you need, or it can even hold a call argument. So you can say user.all or whatever. You can even write more dynamic things. And then what will happen is these arguments will be available inside the dummy action. So you can find them using arguments. So arguments of special message, and if this is present, then I'll succeed in this way, or if not, I'll succeed in this way. So let's see if that works. So fishes, let's see dummy action, and now you'll see I love avocado. So it just took in this argument and now it just works like that. So it works with actions and with filters. And I think we have a filter demo here as well. Yep, so case insensitive. So this is a good example. Like if you want to have a filter that is going to be case insensitive on one resource or sensitive in a different resource. So you can control that on the resource level. So it's similar to how we do it with cards. So before with cards, we had options, which we're now deprecating in favor of arguments. We're deprecating them because on filters, where is it? Fish resource, name filter. We already have for some filters, we already have an options method. So for like Boolean filters, you already have an options method, and that would clash, that would be in conflict with whatever you'd pass it in. So now we are just making everywhere, we're using the same option everywhere, so the same naming everywhere. So instead of options, we're going to use arguments. So now you can pass arguments to cards in the same way we would pass it to like you can pass arguments to actions and filters in the same way you would do it to cards. So yeah, this is quite a nice addition, and it will allow you like to make the experience a little bit better. Coolio. Now I know that some of you might be worried about like Avo V3 work has started on that. I just want to let you know that Avo V2 is not going to go away. We're going to continue to support it. It's just going to enter into a feature freeze stage where we're not going to actively develop any new features Actually, we don't have them planned right now, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to add them as we go, because like I said that last week, but last 2 weeks ago, but we already added a few new like nice features. So we're going to continue to get community contributions and merge them into the main branch, and we're going to continue fixing bugs and fixing like security issues. And so Avo 2 will still live on, so it's not a throwaway project or whatever. So you're not like forced to move on Avo 3 if you don't want to. So Avo 2 will continue to work very nice. So for Avo 3, we have this long list of things that we want to do. These are just a few refactors and nice things to have and a few features. It's not even counting like the nice other features that we want to add, like scopes to index view and versioning and so on. So what have we done until now? So if I go here, so we started work and we merged one PR where we refactored the way we store the params and request and the current user. So now they're all thread safe. And it just adds a few new things like the resource manager and dashboard manager and field manager, and just fixes some of those like the first iteration features that we had from Avo 1 and 2. So it just cleans up a lot of things on internals. Next, we started working on plugins, which is proving to be a little bit more difficult than we expected. So if you have experience building a plugin system, we'd love if you could reach out and maybe spar on this and maybe troubleshoot and brainstorm together. We started, the first thing we would like to do is like, we would like to have the ability to add like a field or a resource tool or just a regular tool to Avo. So again, it's proving to be a little bit more difficult than we expected, but I'm confident we'll push through. But if you have any ideas, we'd love to talk to you. Next, we've been working on resource adapters, so this is going well. Maybe I can show you a demo. Let's see, Avo 3, let's hit dev. Okay, everything is starting up, perfect. And now let's see if I can do this. So now I have two new resources, like an HTTP users. Okay, yeah, sure. It's broken right now, and books. Yeah, okay, it's broken right now, but it would just look like a regular page. And all it does is, let's see. And all it does is HTTP user, user resource. Yep. So all it does is like you give it like an endpoint and maybe an endpoint key. This is something still in progress. Maybe we can just move this users up to here. I don't know, maybe something like that. And then you would just set up something like get records from collection, and you can or get record or get pagination, because this is something very tricky. So you can say like response of like pagination, or like something like per page, or maybe just page, whatever. Yeah, this is something that we still have to work out because every API is different. You might receive an API where you just get the records. So this would be the response, and you have like name, Adrian, and so on. So these would be the records, but maybe you have something like data, and this would be the array of records. So we need to figure out how to do this. And then maybe you have like pagination, and this would be an object, or maybe you just have like page, or you have maybe a meta where you have like limit and offset, right? So every API is a different flavor, and we'd like to give you the tools to support whatever you have with some like nice getters. Yeah, or maybe you get these from the headers. If you worked with like Shopify, and this all the paginations are in headers and so on. So yeah, this is again like not such an easy task, something that we'll just push through in a week. But I think if we work on it, it will just be amazing. So this would be just one adapter, so you'd be able to plug in any type of microservice that you use internally or from an external source. This would enable you to like plug in maybe Stripe, I don't know, any other, maybe a ticketing system, maybe intercom, whatever you need, you would be able to integrate them. So you could create like different adapters on top of these adapters. So a Stripe adapter, and you could just say like, okay, Stripe adapter, and this would be maybe, I don't know, products or whatever. And this would just know to create this products URL or whatever. So yeah, possibilities are endless here. Yeah, another thing we did, we are defaulting the field as to a text. So you can just say like field and just pass in the name. Yeah, this is just a small addition that we added. Okay, cool. So enough with spoiling the surprises. So I think these are like nice things we started working on. We definitely appreciate the discussions around Avo 3 feedback and ideas. So please come here and just talk to us. Ian, thank you for your messages. We're just waiting for your scenarios. Like, tell me like what you're doing to use it, how do you need to use it? So everybody just come in, and we are just answering like every thread, and we just need your feedback to know how to make Avo better. So Avo 3 will come out next year, early next year. So we're shooting for February, March, somewhere around that period, maybe even earlier if we move fast. We just want to make some architectural like changes. We want to bring in like plugins, so you can just install a gem and you have a new field or a new like asset pipeline or whatever installed in your app, so you don't have to do a lot of like that manual work. So I think it will just make Avo a little bit more wholesome. So this is why we're changing from Avo 2 to Avo 3. So as usual, go check out Short Ruby. Luchan did an amazing job for the 19th edition. So he's trying this new thing. He has like this short format and then the long format. So go check it out. If you have any ideas or feedback about this, go write to him, because he'd love to hear you like, hey, I don't like this, I like this, and whatever. Just send him his feedback. Next, check out Super Rails. They have an amazing new episode about Magic Link login. So if you're into that kind of thing and would like to experiment with new stuff, Yaroslav does an amazing job with this. Okay, guys, so this has been it for this week. Send us your feedback and ideas. Would love to talk to you. Share Avo with your peers, and I'll see you in the next one.